What is good, everybody? Thanks for joining us on the GameSpill Podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Peter.
And we are going to talk about Bully 2 today. Kind of do a history of leaks and kind of what we would like out of Bully 2. It's not like confirmed or anything, but they talk about leaks and stuff all the time, and we figure it would be fun to kind of bullshit and talk about Bully 2 for an hour, right?
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So, I guess hopping right into it, I wanted to start out this time. I was thinking from now on we could do, like, what we've been up to. That's, like, what people do on podcasts, right?
Yeah. I've heard people do that.
Yeah, I think people do that. So, will you watch any cool movies, play any game? What you been up to recently?
Mostly I'm playing that Pokemon,
Yeah, you're still on Pokemon. Shit.
I caught them all. I got all 400
No
of them.
shit. That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. I can't believe you got all of them.
I did. I got that shiny charm, and now I'm just hatching eggs like a motherfucker.
That's
I'm
cool.
just making so many eggs.
Does that, like, really jack up the chance?
My odds right now with the foreign Ditto and with the shiny charm are about 1 in every 512 eggs.
Wow, that's not bad at all. That's
not too bad, right?
Yeah, normally it's like 1 out of every 4,000, 5,000, something like that.
Yeah,
Right?
so I've essentially got 8 times better odds than if I hadn't done any of that
Jesus
stuff.
Christ, that's cool. It seems like they're really trying to make it easier for people to kind of get shiny Pokemon and kind of breed the things they want and stuff like that in this one.
I think one of the big reasons why they didn't have a national dex, why there's only the 400 in this version, is so that you can catch 400 of them and get that shiny Pokemon. You don't have a ton of event Pokemon and stuff you could never catch up on.
True. I think I agree with you. I think that a lot of people were upset about that, but I think they did that on purpose so that, it's not quite as much of a pain. It's doable now,
Yeah, it's definitely a better spot to jump in. I would say if this is going to be like your first Pokemon game, now would be a good time to start.
I agree, actually. I have kind of been on and off with Pokemon just because I have been playing a lot of other games, but I've been trying to dig into that one, especially recently, and I personally really like this Pokemon. I think they do a lot of good, like, just quality of life stuff,
Yeah.
It's not like a huge change or big differences or anything. It just kind of makes it easier to play the game.
It's a lot of things that people are saying, oh, they made it so much easier, but they made it easier to play. They made it, better quality of life. They didn't make the games, like, super easy. Pokemon games have always been, reasonably easy.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. It's always...
I mean, even in the end, there's all sorts of battle tower stuff, and there are some challenges to the game. It's not super hard or anything, but it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the challenge always came more from catching all the Pokemon and, getting to end game content, sort of, and I don't know. I think people were making kind of a bigger deal out of it than they should have.
The internet
personally.
likes to make a big stink. They like to make a big stink out of stuff like that.
I wasn't a big fan of Sun and Moon either, so I don't know. Maybe I like this one better because of that, but I don't know.
I didn't really care too much for Sun and Moon either. I liked X and Y a lot more, and even
Agreed.
I liked Ruby and Sapphire. The remakes they did of those I thought were pretty decent. I really liked that generation, so I was maybe a little bit partial to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like that remake too. I hope they keep going down the road of remakes, and I think they're gonna continue to give them to us, but in maybe those Let's Play games.
I don't know about that. I would love to see Diamond and Pearl remake though. Like that's the one that would be next in line. That's the one that I feel like we're due for.
I'm mostly just curious if they're gonna continue with that Let's Play series and make those the remakes, or if they're going to like just keep doing the remake series on occasion.
Yeah, I could see that, but also the one thing that surprises me is that you can't just transfer all your Let's Go Pokemon to the new Pokemon games to Sword and Shield, So I would think maybe they're doing a totally separate thing for that.
That's a good point.
But if they're splitting into those two versions, if they're having those two types of Pokemon games, then where are they going to fit in their remakes?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they going to keep doing those, or are they going to only do 2 series of Pokemon games? I don't know.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm not really sure if they want to continue doing that, or if they're gonna kind of go back to the regular formula. I'm not against seeing Pokemon do new things though. I think that's kind of a big issue. A lot of flack they get is doing the same shit over and over.
They're just stepping into the future more though. It's like seems like the best newest version of a Pokemon game that we could ask for.
I agree. Plus it's the first mainline console title for Pokemon that we've had in years. I think the last one was the Shadow Pokemon Shadow Coliseum or something like that.
Yeah, the ones for like an at-home console.
Yeah, that was back on the GameCube though, like forever ago.
Yep. It is really nice to have it on the big screen too.
Oh,
Pokemon
seriously,
game.
it's super
it's
cool.
fine up there on the big screen. It doesn't need to be on mobile game.
I agree. I think there's something really cool about like having it on the big screen and also like getting to walk around and see the Pokemon right there. You know, there's just something cool about that for sure.
I like that they do that, and they also have Pokemon that you can't see.
Agreed.
In the overworld
I think that's
So
genius.
there's the best of both worlds. It's really them just moving into the future.
Agreed. It's a slow move into the future, but I agree that I think Pokemon is as good as it ever has been right now, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yep.
I have been watching so much Star Wars recently. Holy shit.
Oh, you've been watching them prequels?
I'm going hard. I've been watching, obviously, The Mandalorian. I had a lot to catch up on with that. Have you watched that one yet, by the way?
I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into it. I've been watching it kind of slowly.
I was going to say, it kind of starts off a little slow, but like, especially, I'm about, I think, 5-6 episodes in or something like that, and my God, that shit is dope.
It picks up pretty good.
It picks up really good, and I like that they're doing this like Planet of the Week thing, where it's like he kind of is going and doing different missions every week, and then there's kind of an overarching story going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
The baby Yoda is
everybody
cute,
loves the baby Yoda.
It's
totally,
a huge
totally.
Thing.
I wanted to hate baby Yoda, but
yeah,
it's adorable. I can't.
And the memes, like, I want to hate it because he's so popular, but they still make me like it more because there's some good baby Yoda memes.
The memes are the best. Absolutely. I love the addition of the memes and the show, and all of it culminating together is a fun ride, I gotta say.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I've been on a Star Wars kick. I watched I finally watched Solo. I hadn't seen that yet, and I figured
I got to that one maybe 6 months or so ago. It was still a little while after it came out, but I enjoyed it.
I agree. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was.
Yeah,
for some reason.
It didn't do very well. I remember that was the one they released in the summer instead of during Christmas time, like when families get together and they watch Star Wars movies every year. That's a big tradition for a lot of people.
It was kind of a weird one, for sure.
It was kind of like, oh, you're going to release it at the wrong time of year, and then you're going to be surprised when it doesn't do well.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
It was also just yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something that wasn't maybe quite up to par on the...
Yeah, it wasn't like a main line. It didn't have anything to do with the main story, really.
True.
It was just some backstory for one of the characters.
I really like the backstory stuff, though. Like,
I do like that.
That interests me a lot. Like, seeing what people are doing when, like, they're not saving the galaxy, and just, like, seeing normal people doing normal shit in Star Wars is kind of cool. But yeah, I didn't mind Solo. I thought it was a lot better than people were saying, and I've been just watching through the new movies, and I'm going to be starting on the prequels probably today, actually. So
what I did most recently was we did in chronological order.
Oh, that's a fun one.
And so there's like you do the prequels, and then you go. I think it was Rogue One was in there, and then Solo was in there, and then you do the original trilogy. It was just kind of interesting to see it all. It was not in the order they were made, but that's the chronological order.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. That is cool. I was thinking about doing that, but I was kind of all over the place with the board anyway, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just watch the ones I feel like watching.
Yeah,
I've seen them
once you get started kind of all over the place, what does it matter? They're Star Wars movies, watch them in any order.
Exactly. It's just Star Wars at that point. But I've been having fun with that. I know you don't like Rogue One a lot either, but I watched that one the other day, and that is probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
That one, I don't dislike it. It's just not one of my favorites,
Man,
I don't know. I feel like
huge Rogue One fan. I love
there's not
that
enough.
Shit.
I don't know, cool Jedi stuff in it.
That's true. I'll give you that. There's really no Jedi stuff. It's all about normal. Once again, it's all about just normal fucking people doing mostly normal people shit. And
it is a good movie. I'll give you that, but it's just not my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I like that one a lot, though. I'm a big fan. I'm hoping I'm gonna drag Adriana to the movies to go see that with
Nice.
me. Yeah.
Apparently, Carson was saying he's gonna force Bailey to watch them all before that comes out too. So
that's what I told her last night. Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
I was like, so you're gonna have to. I'm gonna force you to come with me because I don't have anyone to go with up here. So you might as well watch the new movies with me. So So
then you'll at least care about it or know about it.
Yeah, I figure I'll at least make her watch the new ones. I won't make her watch all the old stuff, but at least if she knows what's going on in the new ones, that's like
try to get her to watch the prequels too. The prequels are hilarious. Yeah.
Those are funny. I don't know. She's not really into like funny movies like that,
Yeah.
Like
funny,
bad because it's good because it's bad.
Quotable
sort of
and memeable like bad movies.
Totally. Maybe one day. She really doesn't like Star Wars that much, which is a bummer. But
okay, that's rough.
I gotta get her in. I gotta push her in slowly.
Yeah, ease her in with some easy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, you really gotta try Disco Elysium out, dude. Disco Elysium is. I actually have it. I can. You can play my copy or whatever if you need to.
Is it PC only or is it on PlayStation?
It is PC only, at least as of right now. I do think they have plans to try and bring it over to console, but it's kind of like a point and click from top down game. You might want to play it on PC just because of how it plays,
Gotcha, yeah.
But
gotcha.
You and Spencer would love this game. It is so cool. It's like a detective RPG, but you're like this like drugged up piece of shit cop who like wakes up in a hotel and he doesn't remember anything about who he is or why he's there, and you have to like convince everyone you're a police officer, and you can do like whatever you want. You could be any person you want. You can be like a huge racist, or you can be like you can do whatever. It's so cool. And oh my god, you guys got to play it. I don't want to ruin it too much, but it's like a detective RPG. I don't know how to explain it beyond that. It's really cool.
Okay, yeah.
You can also wear a bunch of. You can put on like any piece of clothing you find. You can look like a bum walking around. It's awesome. It's
you
really
basically
cool.
just gotta beat up and kill a bum, and you can take all his clothes.
Yeah, it's really good. You guys will like it. You should check it out.
Okay, that sounds like fun to me.
It's pretty fun. I've been quite enjoying that game recently. Other than that, I'm just fucking chilling, dude.
Yeah, I've been chilling a lot lately too.
Doing a lot of chilling.
A lot of working and gaming.
It's that time of year where I'm trying to work through backlogs of stuff,
Yeah.
And that leads
eventually.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say eventually Christmas is gonna get here and you're gonna have new games to play.
Exactly.
So you gotta get through that backlog.
I want that Star Wars game really bad.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about
Especially if you're already on a Star Wars kick.
Exactly.
You might want to get
that's the idea. So that's on a couple of my Christmas lists. I'm hoping someone will grab that for me.
Nice.
Anyway, that leads us into our main point for the show, which is Bully 2 leaks. There's not a whole lot of like news going on right now because of the time of year. So me and Peter are gigantic Bully fans, or Rockstar in general. And I figured it'd be fun to sit around and talk about Bully for a while. So where do you want to start with this?
There's a whole lot of different leaks that are just all over the place. So there's not really a good place to start because none of this really sounds that substantial.
True, and a lot of it is fake or we don't know if it's fake or not. And
a lot of this is somebody who wanted some internet attention and they wanted to get people all riled up. And so they made up a fake leak for Bully or something like my source from Rockstar. And it's like everybody knows they're bullshitting.
What I do find funny is Bully leaks are like kind of on like a legendary level at this point, where it's like every time you hear about it, it's probably bullshit, but you still hope, that it's something.
Yep.
And
it makes me think of Half-Life 3,
where
it's like we're never getting Half-Life 3. Like, that would never happen.
Exactly, where it just feels like, well, we're never going to see Bully 2, but every time I see something leak about it, I'm like, oh shit, maybe.
Like,
maybe.
What if?
Yeah, right, what if? Do you think they're working on Bully 2? Do you think Rockstar is working on Bully 2?
I like to think that they are. I like to think that they've had it on the back burner for a while, and they're, kind of casually working on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that they would do or if they would just spend all of their time, like, Bully would be their next game. Like, that's what one of the leaks recently was like, oh, we're getting Bully 2 next since Red Dead 2 came out a year or two ago now.
Yeah, and I could see them doing that, I guess, especially after investing so much into Red Dead and stuff like that. My only issue is, like this article I just had pulled up, even though it just crashed.
Nice.
I mean, GTA 6.
Yeah.
If GTA 5 wasn't such a big fucking deal, I think we would have already seen a Bully. But since Grand Theft Auto is like still one of the biggest online games played to this day, I think it's like it's hard for me to think that they're putting any amount of time into trying to make a bully game, you know?
That's true, yeah, because they make so much money off of Grand Theft Auto. Like, to release a bully game, they're not going to expect the sales to be nearly as strong as if they just make Grand Theft Auto 6, you know?
Exactly.
But they're also still raking in a ton of cash from Grand Theft Auto 5, you know, just from the online sales and all that kind of stuff. It's still a thriving community. Like, they're still getting money out of that.
That's true.
One of the leaks that I keep hearing out of Rockstar is always that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming sooner than you think.
Yep.
Is always what they say.
Indeed.
And so I could see that being the next game. I would honestly prefer it be bully because I still love Grand Theft Auto 5. I can still go back and play GTA Online whenever I want.
Yeah.
And Bully 1 is, as I've been playing it lately, pretty dated.
Yeah,
but
true.
It's still a fun game and all.
What?
Yeah, it's still a fun game and all.
When did Bully come out, actually? Let's
I want to say it was like 07 or 08.
That's about what I was thinking too, yeah. Oh no, Bully, that's the movie. I didn't know there was a movie.
Yeah, I didn't either.
There's a movie called Bully, apparently. 2006, so yeah, right around that time.
Okay.
We were in middle school when this came out.
Yeah. Which was probably the perfect age group for playing this game. Was kids in middle school, you know. That was perfect for us.
That's probably why this is probably one of my favorite Rockstar games, I'd say, just because the setting for me, I think, is just the coolest. I love the idea of being an asshole kid.
Yep. The nostalgia too, you know. I played this a lot when I was a young impressionable kid, you know, and I always thought that, you know, that was a funny way to act. The bully kid was kind of a prick.
Yeah, and they totally let you just like wear anything you want, and I don't know. There's just a lot of cool stuff to do.
Especially in the scholarship version where you can get all these funky hats from classes. Like right now, I'm wearing a giant Eiffel Tower on my head. Nice. I look totally ridiculous.
That's cool. I should play that game, actually. You've inspired me. I want to do that. It's been a while.
If you want to download it on your PlayStation, you can download the non-scholarship version on my account.
That's right. Okay, cool. I might actually look into doing that. Just since I've played it 1,000 times anyway, I just kind of want to play it, you know? So that could be cool.
It's
keep going. What were you going to say?
Never mind.
Oh, okay.
We probably want to talk about some like hopes and stuff for Bully 2, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I was thinking.
I was going to say, hold that thought. Let's get into that in a second. I was thinking before we get into that, we were kind of talking about how, you know, would Rockstar do this, or are they kind of more trying to do a GTA 6 next? And let's say they, are trying to get a GTA out, because obviously that's a huge title. They want to do that. I could totally see a Bully 2 maybe coming after GTA 6, as like you know how we kind of got Red Dead after Grand Theft Auto. Maybe that could be kind of their secondary supplementary title in between, you know, their big GTA launches or something like that. I could see that.
I could see it maybe not being a full title game, you know, because Bully is not a huge game. It's not like the world size is nothing compared to like a Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I could imagine it wouldn't take quite as many resources to develop, and you know, they could maybe be made a little bit faster than a Grand Theft Auto would be.
That kind of gets into the point where I was thinking where it's like, would this have an online mode? Because that really seems to be Rockstar's killer thing, right? And I guess that can lead into...
That's how they make a lot of money.
Exactly.
Is on online mode.
And that can kind of lead into maybe what we want from a Bully 2, you know? But where it's just like, I really think if they're going to make a Bully, they would have to have some sort of online experience. It's just like what people expect
I would hope
nowadays.
That they wouldn't. I would hope that they wouldn't put an online mode in there, because part of what I like about Bully is, you know, you're in this very single player experience. All the kids in the school have names, you know.
That's true.
And so like they're all very specific models, and like it's a story game, you know, where you kind of play through all the whole story experience.
True.
And if you're gonna try to take something like that and make it a big open world MMO game, it just seems like it would end up being GTA Online, but not
That's
as
a good point.
right?
Yeah,
it would be more limited because it would be a school game. You know?
I guess maybe that kind of comes into the issue where it's like, you know, would Rockstar end up doing something like this? Because it's like, obviously Red Dead has an online mode, and it sort of seems like where Rockstar's going with their games, they're trying to have like a really strong single player experience, and then a multiplayer experience that'll last you 10 years, you know? So it's like... I'm just curious if a Bully 2 is even something they would be wanting to do nowadays, just because of kind of where they're pushing their content, you know what I mean?
It's true. I think that if they do it, it would be more of like a, I don't know, because we want to make Bully 2, not because it's going to sell
Agreed.
a ton, you know? Like, Bully 1, I don't think sold that much, you know?
Actually, I'm kind of curious. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, let's take a look. Did it sell well? I don't think it sold super well, but I want to say they weren't bad sales.
Yeah, I mean, they made the scholarship edition to kind of like bring it all together. Oh, it sold 1.5 million copies.
1.5 mil. Okay.
That's and multiple year-end accolades. So it was definitely a popular game when we were kids. I do remember a lot of people being into it.
Yeah. Especially if you were too young to buy a Grand Theft Auto game, this filled that void.
100%. That was actually kind of its whole thing, you know, was it's like, hey, we'll make a T game for you people that can't purchase.
For the kids who are too young that want to play Grand Theft Auto but can't.
Absolutely.
You know?
I would imagine.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
And I would imagine they probably sold more than 1.5 million copies at this point. I mean, especially if we think about Scholarship Edition and the original one and it being ported to a bunch of different consoles.
I think they have it on the iPhone now.
Do they really? No shit.
I want to say that they do. That maybe could be a place you could play it.
That is hilarious.
It probably wouldn't control super well, but I'm pretty sure you can get it on the iPhone. Yeah.
It's the anniversary edition. Oh, so it is the scholarship edition on there. That's pretty cool, actually. I wonder how that plays.
One thing I was gonna say is when I was reading through some of the the Reddits and stuff, one thing they brought up was, do you think they would try to retain their rated T rating? If they did make a sequel, would it be T again?
I would imagine, because that's kind of their...
That seems like the whole point.
Exactly.
To me.
Yeah. That seems kind of like the whole point for the Bully game in general, is that it's a T version of that, you know? And
yeah, exactly.
I definitely, I think so, for sure.
I can see no reason why they would get rid of it, except that one of the leaks that we heard was that it would be a sequel to Jimmy Hopkins' story. So you would play as the same kid.
Oh, that is
but
cool,
you would be, I don't know, maybe in college, or you would be like at a summer camp, or was one of the other ideas that kids had thrown around. And so I would see it would be cool if you were like a grown-up Jimmy Hopkins and you were going to college or whatever, and you were going to like frat parties and like beating up frat bros, and like there would be a lot of fun things you could do there.
There might be that might warrant an M rating at that point.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, if you're consuming alcohol and all that kind of stuff in the game, that probably would lead to a rated M.
I do kind of like that idea though, about like going to college next. You know, you were in normal school, and then
I always like it when like things age with the group of kids that it was made for, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, like if it was just for, older kids now, because all the kids that grew up playing Bully are older, it would kind of make sense to go for that older audience. True. I do think it would be smarter to still try to retain that T rating, to go for that same window of kids that's still there. There's still kids who can't play rated M games.
I agree with you, especially since GTA 5 and Red Dead are known as being very, very mature experiences, you know?
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of the thing that would differentiate, the Bully title.
They already have so much mature experience kind of things. Like, they already have those kind of titles. They could go with something different.
They could always try something else. All these, I'm looking at some of these leaked screenshots for Bully 2 right now, and they look like Grand Theft Auto mods or something.
Yeah. A lot of these do look like Grand Theft Auto. Like, one of them looked like somebody had just taken a Grand Theft Auto character and dressed him up like Jimmy Hopkins,
yeah, that's what this
like
looks
GTA
like
Online. That's exactly what it looked like. And
even
then had him standing,
Even this whole front area, like this house and stuff, looks so Grand Theft Auto to me.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure I know where that house is
right?
in Grand Theft Auto. You just modded it a little bit.
It's funny. I love this picture too, where Jimmy Hopkins has this like floopy hair,
full head of hair.
Oh man, it's silly. I've just been trying to.
This guy Felipe. Wait, go back to there. That was
Felipe Borges.
You can look him up on Instagram.
He's
got an Instagram.
He must have like a bunch of Rockstar leaks or something like that, I guess.
A Rockstar leaker.
That's his whole thing. He has like a bunch of other pictures too. These are just like assets. It looks like that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I think I had an article back here that was saying all of it's fake. I haven't read through this article yet, but
I bet. Yeah, I don't really trust these leaks at any point anymore. I like to speculate, but I don't trust them.
I agree. Yeah, most of it's just garbage. And I think when Rockstar is ready to say something about it, I think they're going to. But I definitely think we're gonna get a Grand Theft Auto before we're gonna get a Bully.
Yeah, I think it would make financial sense for them to release that first.
True, yeah, and just because of, once again, the popularity of GTA 5, I imagine they're trying to find...
Well, especially you can look up, we just looked up the Bully sales, now look up GTA 5 sales.
Oh my god, yeah. GTA 5
that's going to say anything about how quickly they want to get this next game out.
Well, plus they want to make sure they do it correct, because it's like if they don't, they're gonna fuck up. I think Grand Theft Auto is one of the most sold video games right now.
I want to say it's definitely in like the top 10.
Let's see, list of best-selling video games: Minecraft, Tetris, and Grand Theft Auto 5, with 115 million copies sold. Jesus Christ.
Yep, that's a lot more than Bully sold.
That is a lot more than Bully sold.
If that's any indicator, we're never seeing Bully 2.
Yeah,
ever.
Totally. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that is a huge indicator that we might never, ever see that. But, man, I would like to see one, I gotta say. I know I mentioned a little bit earlier, a while back there was a leak kind of mentioning that maybe you'd play as like a female character for Bully 2, which I think would be really cool, obviously. Like beating the shit out of, dudes, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Also, I think it would be cool if you could choose a gender,
Yeah, or just create your own character would be super cool for a Bully franchise, I think.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of that like from Rockstar,
Yeah, I haven't either. A lot of it seems to be like...
it's very story driven, so you gotta, obviously everybody plays as the same main character. There's not a lot of create a character there.
Yeah, very true.
But it would be cool to have, both a, male and a female versions of the characters.
Yeah,
and they could have all the voice
cool,
lines done and everything.
That seems like something Rockstar could do too. I think they could.
Yeah, it makes me think of Red Dead 2 when you get to the end of the game and they have a lot of these voice lines. They've obviously had two separate people read the same voice lines because that's what they had to do.
Yeah, which is
so they're clearly capable of doing stuff like that, of having two different recordings for a male or a female option. I think that's very doable.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see them do a Bully 2 just as a smaller. It doesn't have to be as big as like a Grand Theft Auto or a Red Dead, but I just think it'd be cool to give us fans what we want out of that.
Yeah, there's like, when you look on the subreddit, there's people talking on there like every single day for Bully and Bully 2 subreddits, and it's like people clearly want it. Like, even after this many years.
I can't believe that people are posting. 2 hours ago, someone was posting about Bully 2.
Yeah.
If Rockstar
people sit around all day thinking about how good the music is and all this other stuff.
This guy said, generic 102419 said, if Rockstar made Bully 2, the online portion would be so much fucking fun. Like, imagine you and some online friends just riding your bikes through town. All of a sudden, some other online players start throwing fireworks at you, and then you and your friends start fist fighting those other players.
Yeah.
That does sound cool. Yeah.
When you describe it like that, that sounds really awesome.
That sounds fucking dope, I gotta say. Yeah. I would love I know we just glossed over the online of Bully 2 a little bit earlier, but I think it would be cool to do like a breakfast club online, sort of thing where it's like you and your buddies get together, you're all hype beasts, and you're, just got off Fortnite and you're trying to, wreck some kids in the streets,
You throwing eggs and like, shooting fireworks and stuff.
You're like slingshotting people and stuff. That'd be awesome, man. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I don't know. It's just Bully 2 is becoming a more and more ridiculous idea as time goes on now.
The longer it goes, the less I think it's going to happen.
Agreed, which is a bummer because I would love to see this come through, but just especially with how popular the Grand Theft Auto franchise has become and how much of a spectacle Red Dead is and stuff like that. I just don't know if they have any like reason to do.
They don't have a need for this anymore. They have their big franchises. They've got their audience of adults who want to play Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. And obviously a lot of teenagers and children playing Grand Theft Auto, as there always will be.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, especially nowadays. I mean, who doesn't play Grand Theft Auto, right? I mean, 115 million people apparently.
Pretty much everyone's tried it.
Pretty much everyone has played Grand Theft Auto or something nowadays. I guess we could touch a little bit on GTA 6. I was gonna say we're only about 30 minutes in, and I think we got blew our load on the Bully 2 there.
Yeah.
But shit, GTA 6 though. I've heard some rumors that it's gonna be like set in like Florida, Miami, or like Cuba and stuff like that.
I've heard there will be a South American portion where you can go over the border
that
and
would
like
be
drug running and stuff because it's Grand Theft Auto.
Freaking cool, dude.
Yeah,
that'd be so dope. If it took place in like the Gulf of Mexico or something, so it's like you could be in America or over, overseas. That'd be radical. I think
one thing
really
that
neat.
I think would be really cool is if they made like a Miami or whatever, and then the whole story mode would be set in the 80s, like the cool vaporwave kind of area.
Hell yeah.
And then when you get to the online portion, it'd be cool to have that set in present day, so you have technically like 2 different settings of the same city.
That would be
and obviously
cool.
present day would be better for all the online stuff. You got everybody's flying around these sweet military helicopters and stuff that wouldn't have existed.
That's a really good
the
point,
80s.
actually. Yeah. I guess they could probably still find some cool stuff to put into like an 80s aesthetic like that, but it would be interesting to see or even what if the story itself took place over decades of time? That could be really interesting too.
That would be cool.
So the
half
online
the game
version
is an 80s timepiece. Yeah.
Is in modern day or whatever, but then the single player starts off maybe in the 60s or 80s or something. That could be really cool.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Once again, wild speculation. Yeah. None of this is true. But as people who have played lots of Rockstar games, I think it's kind of fun to speculate, and especially Vice City is easily my favorite Grand Theft Auto game.
Oh, it's such a good one.
So good. I just love the aesthetic and everything about that game is freaking dope.
Yeah.
I really would like to see them kind of do that same Miami neon encrusted thing.
Especially if I could get a sword again, when
yes.
you'd be able to run around chopping people with a sword in a Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, with a samurai sword, riding
in a long
on your...
time. Yeah.
One of the coolest parts about Vice City is getting a motorcycle, driving into the mall, and slicing people up with a katana easily. Oh, man.
Yep. That's a great game.
Amazing game, absolutely. I'm a huge fan. They were also... I read a rumor a while back, too, that was saying they might implement, kind of using the trunk of your car, kind of like how you would the horse in Red Dead Redemption.
I heard that. Yeah.
So you'd
I heard that there you would be able to summon your car, kind of like you do in Red Dead 2. Which, as much as it would make less sense as your horse coming to you, it would be so nice to just be able to be like, all right, spawn my car in near me.
I completely agree. I think that'd be super rad. I don't know. I like the whole realism of Red Dead Redemption. I feel like some people weren't a big fan of that, but I thought it was pretty cool. Searching through drawers and I don't know. Shit like that.
Yeah. It's supposed to put you in the time setting of 1800s or whenever the Red Dead is set.
Yeah, I think it's.
And so it's.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's because things aren't super quality of life because that's just how life was back then.
Yeah, I agree.
Things weren't easy. Sometimes you had to ride your horse 30 miles to get to town.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're riding your horse for a while.
They went for more of a realism thing on the new game and less of a gamey feel. Some of the old Grand Theft Autos definitely feel very arcadey. You kind of whip guns out of your back pocket and just run around causing terror. And Red Dead feels a lot more grounded. I am curious to see if they're gonna keep that grounded feel for a Grand Theft Auto 6, or if they're gonna kind of go for more of a gamey feel.
Yeah.
One
thing I was thinking about is Saints Row hasn't really been a big competitor.
Oh yeah, you're
since
right.
Then. So I feel like one of the reasons that Grand Theft Auto got very realistic was because Saints Row was over there doing the crazy stuff. They were just getting wild with it.
Too true.
And so Grand Theft Auto was like, well, let's get really real with it because they're already doing that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right actually, especially because right around the time GTA 5 was released. I want to say Saints Row 3 or 4 was.
It was
around,
pretty big.
Yeah.
It was pretty big back then.
And they were known for being the crazy one.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to see Grand Theft Auto take a turn back to that kind of crazy nature.
I would love to see that, especially with Grand Theft Auto 6 being in a neon encrusted Miami. I think it'd be cool to see them take a little bit more of a silly feel to it.
Crazy actiony 80s action movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome to see. I don't know. You got me all fucking hyped about.
I know, right? I'm excited
GTA
about
6 now. Shit. I think we're definitely gonna really quick before we. I think we're kind of coming to a close here, but what was I gonna say? Oh,
I don't know, man.
When do you think GTA 6 will be released?
Oh, one thing that I thought was really interesting was a long time ago, the rumor where there was 2 doors at the airport in GTA 5, one labeled 2018 and one labeled 2021.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
and I think Red Dead 2 did come out in 2018. It would be really cool if they stuck to that and their next game comes out in 2021. So if I had to take a guess, that's the one I would like to guess for.
I think that would be cool too. I totally agree with you, and I think 2021 sounds pretty appropriate. If
Rockstar's got their shit so together that they can tell several years ahead when they'll be able to release their game, that would be cool.
I would even go as far to say that they might even get it out sooner than that. I am kind of under the idea that I think they might try and bring this out close to new console launch.
Yeah, I could see that too. They can harness the power of those new consoles.
But I think if, let's say, new consoles are coming out, holiday 2020, right? That's kind of what we're looking at. Then
2021 will be about when they fully got them figured out and can really make some good games for them. You know, every time we get a new console, it's a little while before they can fully utilize all that power.
I almost guarantee we will see a GTA 6 come either that spring of 2021. Or maybe they'll wait until and later
holiday.
In the year. Yeah, more of the holiday season. But I think the timing lines up really well, and I definitely think they're going to try and get in on these new consoles. Obviously, that just makes sense to me, you know, especially because GTA 5 kind of came in at a weird place where it was coming in. At the end
of PS3 and the beginning of PS4, it was kind of an uncomfortable place to be in.
Yeah, and then they had to port it over to the new consoles, which was cool, but it's just, I mean, if you think about it, GTA 5 is fucking how old now? GTA 5 came out in 2013 is when that game came out. So 6 years ago, which is a long time.
Doing release on 2 separate console generations probably helped them get that many sales. You know, they got a ton of sales on that game because they sold it on 2 different console gens.
I think you're right, and just the absolute, obviously, popularity of the game has just blown it into the stratosphere. And I agree. I think something about it being on that end of console and then them pushing it over, I definitely think had a lot to do with how many sales they got going on that. They're smart people over there at Rockstar Games. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they can time it.
Yeah, so shit. I think, you got any more to say about Bully or
I
GTA
think that's
6?
about all the rumors and random stuff I found.
I think so too. Yeah, that's about all I got to say about those things. I think we did a pretty good job at, going over leaks and stuff like that. It's a bummer that we kind of decided that Bully 2 is never going to happen.
Yeah, that is a bummer. But hey, maybe they'll prove us wrong.
Maybe they'll prove us wrong. And, worst case, we'll get GTA 6, and I bet it will be pretty tight.
It will be.
Dope. I said tight and dope at the same time there.
Yeah, taupe.
Taupe.
I like that.
Anyway, thanks for joining us on Thanks for joining us on the second episode of GameSpill. I am Brandon.
And I'm Peter.
And we were just talking about Bully 2, and then we got off track and started talking about GTA 6, and now we're here. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Like the video if you like what we do. Subscribe to the channel, and you can find our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, and I think it's up on iTunes now. Officially. We're official. So check us out there. You can also find us on YouTube, obviously, and have a kick-ass week.
Later.